I posted about something I had seen, not just once, because I wouldn't have posted it if I had only seen it once. I saw multiple times. So I thought I'd join the conversation about how some people from other countries, immigrants, did not know that black Americans are not immigrants. Got some Latinos in the comments saying that that's a lie, that yes, they do know that. If you do know that, which I always thought you did, but if you do, I have to wonder, why would someone ask black Americans where they're from? Why would that even be a question? Like, I can understand assuming that I'm not black American, that I am from Africa. But after I tell you, like, let's say you ask me, where are you from? And I tell you, I'm from America. Why would you follow it up with, no, where are you really from? Why would there be more? If you know about the history of slavery, once I tell you that I'm from America, why wouldn't you just assume that I'm a descendant of chattel slavery? That's my question. Because to continue to ask someone, either you don't know or you know and you're trying to put me down. Which one is it?
So the topic of where Black Americans come from is back. Okay, people are asking, where do y'all come from? No, wait, where's your mom from? No, wait, where's your grandpa from? They all from America, man. It's not that hard to understand, all right? We've been here since 1619, and if you really think about it, we are the most American people in America, okay?
Said before, you're more American than anyone because you don't have any other identity. Actually, your entire identity is American based. That's not the case of anyone else. I'm Irish American, I'm German American, I'm Italian American, I'm Jewish American, I'm this or that, the other. You can say African American, but you don't know anything about Africa. You don't even know which part of Africa. Africans don't call themselves that because I know my tribe. I have my language. I have my region, my country, my whatever. Like me saying European American. I'm not European. I'm specifically Irish and German. But you can't say that. You are American. You're the original Americans. You know, everyone else is immigrants. You can't even be called immigrants. You know, you're originally American, and your culture is as close to being the indigenous culture of America as there can be without you being the indigenous people. You know, you're the indigenous people of the entity called America, called the United States of America. Everything else came from elsewhere. Your culture is the only one that came from right there because you were cut off from everything else. You know, there's nobody else like that. There's nobody else like that in the world. There's no other culture like that in the world.
Now, after watching that, the topic is no longer up for discussion. My man answered every single question, okay? That's the God's honest truth, and he speaks way better than I do. So that's why I had to show you that. All you Caribbeans, all you Africans, all you UK blacks, all of y'all. The discussion has ended, okay? Y'all know where we from. You guys know our heritage. You copy our heritage, which is cool. We all black, but just stop questioning us. Give us props. Show us the proper respect so that we can show you the proper respect, right? So the next time one of you think you're gonna ask a black American where they come from, no, where you actually come from. The big bad USA, okay? Generation after generation after generation after generation. It's not that hard to explain. Matter of fact, if you're still confused, go watch Roots. Matter of fact, the newer one, the one that came out in 2016 with I love that movie. And look at the difference between Fiddler and Kuta, Fiddler and Giddy Man. Look at how they was making fun of them, because it's a fucking difference, okay? Even at that point, we already had been here for 10 generations. Way back when they shot Root, or not when they shot Roots, but when it was supposed to be shot. There's a huge difference, okay? We've been here, we ain't going nowhere. USA is our home, man. It's not that hard to understand.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is so good to have you back. So, a lot of immigrants have faced deportation by ICE, and people are talking about the black Americans saying they should be ready and will soon be deported as well. And I laugh. Like, are you that daft? who is deporting the Black Americans? Where? How? The truth is, you all need to understand who the immigrant is and who an immigrant isn't. That's the whole point of this video today. Let's go watch some other clips and we'll be back. Credit belongs to the original creators of these videos. Don't go anywhere, I'll be right back.
For Juneteenth, I need y'all to learn that Black Americans are not immigrants. You're not an immigrant when you are dragged across the globe against your will to be worked and bred and tortured by the very people who stole the land upon which you were dragged to. Okay? We didn't choose to vacation here. We didn't choose to flee here. We didn't choose any of this. That's the difference. A lot of y'all are immigrants, and God bless you for it, but that will never be Black Americans. We were forced to build up the places that a lot of your ancestors immigrated to, and to this day didn't get a stake in any of that. So before y'all run your mouths about Black Americans and our history in this country, make sure you're not spewing out garbage first. Because immigrants made this country what it is, but we are the building blocks, the very foundation. So unless you're Native American, you can't say nothing to me about that.
Trying to scare tactic Black people that if they don't stand in unison with Mexicans and immigrants in this deportation, that we're next. Next how? That's not, y'all be talking about, well, we don't know the history about. Y'all don't know the history. We are citizens of this country that were brought over here forcibly by our ancestors, brought over here forcibly centuries ago. Our blood is in this soil. There is no next. There's no deporting us. There's no rounding us up. Like, what are you talking about? We not in the same boat. This ain't the same thing. ICE ain't looking for us. You hear me? Thank you.
Why is it so hard to understand that being Black American is an ethnicity?
Africans as a whole, like Kenyans, Nigerians, South Africans, all that I've seen have always included you guys as African, like African first. Again, from what I've seen, you guys would be considered more African than American. No, I think they would consider you ethnically African, I guess.
This topic is something that I used to think people were being intentionally obtuse about, but seeing people from all across different demographics, different ethnicities, different cultures come to the same conclusion, it really is baffling, because I think that due to the history of America and what America represents, they consider everyone in America an immigrant, and they don't take account to Native Americans and then Black Americans who are indigenous to the America. Now, when I say indigenous, I don't mean that we are the natives of this land. I mean that the Black American ethnicity exists in America because it was created there. We went through an ethnogenesis in America, creating Black Americans as an ethnicity. Black Americans are extremely mixed because we're from at least 7 regions of Africa, right? All those different regions of Africa, then European, and then trace amounts of native DNA. So when you have a group of people who come from almost the entire continent of Africa mushed into one with white people and with natives, that is a new ethnicity. And the same way that Cape Verdeans are multi-generational mixed people, the same way colored people in South Africa are multi-generational mixed people, is the same way Black Americans are multi-generational mixed people. We aren't simply African. No one in the Americas is just simply African. No one in Brazil, no one in Haiti, no one in Jamaica, no one in Dominican Republic, no one in Trinidad, no one in America is simply just African, due to the history of us in the Americas, due to us being on plantations and a part of the colonies and having slave masters rape our great-great-great-grandmothers, and then everybody being a byproduct of mixing. We're not African, and then we're more African than American, because we wouldn't exist without America, and America wouldn't exist without us. Do we have African ancestry and our genetics African? Absolutely. But is it just African? No. After 500 years, no one's quote unquote African, because what is Africa? Africa is a continent. Africa is not a country, and we don't come from a country. We were taken from kingdoms, and these countries didn't exist when the transatlantic slave trade was happening. It should not be that hard to comprehend, because do you consider Brazilians African? Are you going around calling Jamaicans African? Are you calling Dominicans African? Are you guys doing that? What is the need for Black Americans to be African? We're American.
I'm American.
Yeah, but so you're Afro-American.
Yeah, I mean, I'm African American, but like my people have been in America for like centuries.
Hundreds of years.
Yeah.
You were originally from Africa.
I mean, we're all originally from Africa.
That's debatable. So where do you trace your roots to? What country in Africa?
I don't, because I was like in America, and my grandmother and my great grandmother and my great great grandmother. So like I don't think we have the documentation, because like the slave trade sort of ruined that.
Okay.
But yeah, we've been in America for hundreds of years, many generations.
But why is it so hard for every other person to understand that Black Americans are not immigrants? Like, why is it so hard to understand that they have always been in the US for centuries? Their great, 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 great grandparents have been there for hundreds of years. You guys are just complaining for no reason, and I find it very difficult to understand. Like, when Black people tell you they are American, you find it difficult to comprehend. But when other ethnicity come on here and tell you they are American, you seem not to have issues with it. When white folks tell you they are American, you don't question them further. You just accept it. Is it because you believe America is a white country? Nah. That's where I need to school you all. Blacks were the foundational people in America. In fact, America is more black than it is white. That's a fact. You need to have that understanding, and it needs to sink. Like, it needs to sink. The blacks were here before America was even a country. They are foundational. Foundational. I hope this video will be an eye-opener to a lot of people and give people something to think about. That's the whole point of this video. I'll draw the curtains here. Thank you so much for coming with me on this channel. I love you all. Have an amazing day. Cheers.